time is of essence.
Yeah. Do you sometimes think that you've used your time to the fullest?
Hindsight you're talking about.
Kind of.
Hindsight is very good, isn't it? You can change everything. I never made a mistake in my life. That's bullshit.
I just learned from things.
Yes, you pick up along the way. And you should always pick up things along the way. But be smart enough to accept that there's somebody possibly smarter than you out there and utilize it. Because, you like to be the know-all, but I'm sorry. There's a lot of different things happening out there and so on. Who thought that the first people who did computers made a fortune? The next person's coming in now, not as successful because there's so many people doing it.
Yeah.
I hate computers with a vengeance. You know why? Because it costs a lot to upkeep and update and update and update, and the software, hardware. I said, Jesus, man, can you control that price structure? But it's a necessary evil.
The black hole.
Of Calcutta, yeah.
What? Sorry?
Black hole of Calcutta.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the share market. I personally had an argument with some politicians, prime ministers actually, and the treasurer about how superannuation was handled in the first instance. I thought it was a big mistake. And they said that I didn't know what I was talking about. But when somebody could handle your money,
Yep.
right, and lose it,
Yep.
and still charge you commission,
Yeah.
you are kidding me. They should only get the profit, the percentage of the profit, not the percentage of what you are being paid by your employer.
Correct.
For your super.
Yeah.
This is wrong. And,
Yeah.
Years ago, you could only give it to certain people. At least now you can manage your own if you can.
Yeah. Well, if I was to ask you, well, let's not start talking about the treasurer. So I'll keep moving on.
The politics.
If you weren't doing what you're doing right now, what would you be doing? Like if it was a non-Vilis, let's say if you could start life and be anything that you wanted on this planet, what would it be?
If I had a crystal ball, I'd tell you a lot of those. But in general, I love the land of this country. I'd love to be a farmer. And when you see farmers today in dire straits, maybe I was lucky.
Maybe you didn't go down that way.
When you look at the farmer, he's got the flies, the dust, the drought. And we should look after these people.
Yeah.
Because it's a hard life.
Yeah, well, 100% agree.
Not everybody's got the greenness of Victoria in some little valley, and so on. And I talk to farmers. I have people coming from all country in a cafe, and I sit down and have a coffee with them or tea with them, and we talk about farming. I love it. I found out that wheat prices are going to go down this year, and I told them how much before even they knew, and I was 75% accurate.
That's awesome.
Because to be aware of your surroundings.
Yeah. Okay. So farmer, if you know what you know now, what would be the best advice you could give your 18-year-old self if you could go back in time?
I never acquired the knowledge which I needed. It took me ages to acquire the knowledge because of my education Education is the greatest foundation known to man, but it's not the end of the world either. As your father, myself, and a few other people in this country who didn't have the education, but we made things work. We put in the effort. And so, commitment, effort, and of course the courage. If you've got butterflies in your tummy, don't spend your money on a business. You won't succeed because you'll pull out just when you know there's that balance of success or loss. So the idea is to be committed, challenge, take it on, don't back out halfway. To me, it's the worst mistake you're ever going to make because you're going to sit back in your rocking chair one day and wonder, what if?
Yeah.
What if? I'll never wonder what if. I've always bloody well done it. and sometimes to my financial detriment.
And you're still here to tell the story.
Yeah, well, I'm not ashamed to admit a mistake. I think anybody in business who done made a mistake hasn't lived yet.
Yeah, this is so true.